soon as I start doing this, then I suddenly can't talk. But I hope you've enjoyed the challenge so far. I hope you have been able to learn through it. And I've heard some great things from people that have really gotten some great insights and learned how to take better care of ourselves. I know I have. I mean, for me, this has been just what I needed. And I'm so glad I did it because of course, with New Year's, I always think of, okay, I need a challenge and push myself and grow and do all these things. But the truth is, until we do all these replenishing things that we've been talking about and actually take care of ourselves, until we do those things and we are in that good place where we feel healthy and well and strong and happy and, like we can tackle things, we're not going to be making the best decisions when it comes to our personal growth and things we need to do, right? So that is just a fact. So we need to replenish before we can give. And I go back to that analogy that I gave the other day about, just being the chalice, right? And needing to be full. And until we are full, we don't have any to spill over. And if we start to give and share ourselves from a half full cup, we tap out and we end up empty or dry, right? Dried out, burned out, whatever you want to call it. So that's what we're talking about today is we then though we need to share ourselves. And that's the whole point of replenishing. That's really the irony of self-care, is that self-care is really about other people. I mean, it really is, because that is how we get to the point where we can take care of other people and take care of the service that we are called to do and the responsibilities and the things that we want to do to lead and be a light in the world and to help other people and to love other people, which is really what makes the world go round and really what makes us happy. We can only share those things once we have replenished. And that's why this is the perfect ending for our 8-day challenge. And I'm going to share with you 3 ways that we can share ourselves. I call them the three of sharing yourself. And they're going to each be a specific thing you can do to help yourself to get out there and share you with the people that you care about and with the world or with the community or with the people in your home, whatever that might look like for you, okay? And we all have a reason to share ourselves because we all have this incredible potential. We all have this incredible purpose, and we just need to tap into that. And I'll be sharing an announcement later about a really exciting new program that can help you do that too, if you're not sure about that potential and that purpose. So when we talk about sharing ourselves, number 1, if I have the 3 number 1 is kind of our baseline sharing ourselves, which is number 1 is just show up. Show up. And that means, once we have taken care of ourselves, or as we take care of ourselves, to put it in a better way, because it's not like we just replenish and then that's it and it's over and it's done. This has to become a habit. This has to become a lifestyle, a way of doing things, that we are continually replenishing ourselves. And as we continually replenish ourselves, then we can show up in the ways that we want to show up, and not just because we feel like we have to show up. Does that make sense? So maybe you can relate to that. Like, can you relate to that as far as, sometimes we have to show up to work or to take care of our family or to help someone or whatever it might be. And we feel like we aren't really showing up in the way that we want to show up. We aren't being who we really want to be or who we feel like we really are as we do this, because we haven't replenished and we haven't taken care of ourselves. But once we do that and get into that pattern, then we need to get into the pattern then of showing up in the ways that we really want to and sharing ourselves with others. Okay? Because life is not meant to be lived in isolation. It's not about being alone. It's not about just doing our own thing by ourselves. We really need to serve others, love others, help others, and let them serve, love, and help us too. It has to be, like we talked about on our love day, it has to be that full cycle of giving and receiving, has to be complete in order to then, be able to receive, to complete the cycle and to feel that replenishment that we can get from love and that charity that we have for other people. So how can you show up today? That's the question. How can you show up in the ways that you want to show up today? And what does that look like for you? What does that mean? Sometimes it might mean, you know what, I need to show up physically for something, but I don't need to put all this energy into it. In fact, I have to tell you, this morning I went to my bar class, and I just love bar 3. It's like my favorite workout. And went to the class, and I love at the end, they always do meditation practice, a mindfulness practice, and breathing exercises. And as we were doing our deep breathing exercises, the instructor said, take your, imagine that you have a big platter next to you, and imagine all the things that you don't need. And then one by one, remove them as we're breathing. So with each breath, think of one thing you don't need and remove it and put it on the platter. And so as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, I've got a lot going on today. I'm heading out of town tomorrow. Got an exciting new program starting. I've got a lot going on, but I was actually like removing, I don't need to stress about this. Lay that on there. I don't need to worry about getting everything done. I don't have to do everything perfectly. Lay that on the platter. I don't have to, all the things that we just don't need that we carry around all the time, right? So we can lay that on the platter. And then of course, at the end, she said, you can take it with you, or you can leave the platter here and I'll take care of it for you. I left my platter, and I felt so much freer just by doing that exercise. So what do you need to show up for? But how do you want to show up? And some days it needs to be showing up gently, just sort of like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to go to my kid's game. I'm going to work with this client, but I'm going to, do kind of the minimum, because that's where I am right now. And some days it needs to be, okay, I'm going to show up like 100%. I'm going to be me fully. I'm going to, really, really put everything into this, because that's what you need. Okay. So the first is show up. Number second. Yeah. See, that makes a lot of sense. See, I'm just too back in my mindfulness stage. Okay. So number 2, our second is shift. We need to show up, and we need to shift our thinking. Our thinking cannot continue the way it has before. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks this. I know there are many of you that are watching or will watch this that can relate to this, that we get all these thoughts in our head, that, that we don't have the time for self-care or replenishment, that it's going to be too much of a project to do it. I was just talking with Melissa, I know she's watching right now, this morning, and she said, that she was thinking before this challenge about how self-care needed to be a day off, and how is she going to schedule a day off? But now she's realizing self-care and replenishment is something that it has to become our lifestyle and our pattern and an everyday thing that we do. So what are we thinking, and what kind of thoughts are actually working for us and what are not, right? So we have to shift our thinking. If we think things like, I'm not worth the effort for replenishment or self-care, or I don't need to show up, excuse me, I don't need to show up or shine or share myself in a big way because nobody needs what I have to offer, or, I don't really have anything of value to share with the world, or whatever it might be, whatever it might be, we hold ourselves back all the time. We hold ourselves back all the time by what we think, and then what we think becomes what we believe, and then it becomes what we do. And the sad thing is that most of what we believe, so much of it, and what we think, we don't even want to think, and we don't really want to believe it. It's just like an old tape. It's like those cassette tapes that I still have in my basement from when I used to teach aerobics, and I had all my cassette tapes for all of my workout songs, and all my cassette tapes that I used to, my mixtapes that I made for my husband when we were dating, or for my friends or whatever. It's like those old tapes. It's like an old mixtape that just keeps playing, and we're so used to it that we don't change it. So we have to shift our thinking when it comes to sharing ourselves, because there are so many things that hold us back. And that's what shifting thinking is all about. It's empowering ourselves by saying, you know what, I don't want myself back. I don't want to let fears or worries or insecurities stop me from showing up in the world the way I need to, from serving the way I need to, from loving the way I need to, from leading the way I want to, from achieving the goals and dreams that I have set for myself. And let me tell you, a lot of times it's not even that we're so afraid we're going to fail, because sometimes it is, but sometimes it's also we're afraid we're going to succeed. What if I really go for it and it doesn't work? That's one thing. What if I really go for it and it does work? And then what? And what would other people think? And if I'm out there shining and showing myself and being a light and sharing myself with the world, aren't they just going to think that, I think I've got it all put together, or that my life is perfect, but it's really not? Or what are they going to think? And so we hold ourselves back so much about what other people are going to think, how we feel, what we're struggling with. Thank you, Allie. You tell them. I appreciate that. On YouTube, tell me. Okay? We can't hold ourselves back anymore, so we have to shift our thinking. And one great tool that you can use is to go on my website, drchristinahibbert.com, and you can look up the thought management series and how to use a thought record to start changing your thinking. I have some videos, free worksheets there that are really great, because if we don't shift our thinking, we're never going to shift our beliefs, and we're never going to be able to overcome these challenges and blocks that we set for ourselves, right? Allie, you're hilarious. She says she has a wedgie, but otherwise loving the video. Thank you. I'm glad you can be so real with us. So you're sharing yourself. I appreciate that. Okay, now, that's number 2. So number 1, show up. Just show up. You might be a hot mess, but hey, show up, okay? Doesn't matter. And then number 2, shift your thinking and stop blocking yourself from all the good stuff. In fact, so much of what we fear, we think that fear, if we cling to it, it'll somehow prevent us from bad stuff like failure or, something embarrassing or whatever it might be. But fear doesn't prevent bad. Fear prevents good. It prevents all the good stuff that we want to do, but we are too afraid. And so identify your fears. Stop and identify them, and then work with those tools that I said, the thought management tools, a thought record, whatever you can do to challenge those fears and also to feel those fears. That's another thing you can look up too, is feel, F-E-E-L. And I have a couple of articles and videos on how to feel powerful emotions like fear. And it's really, really powerful when you do that all the time. And that's part of replenishment too, right? Okay, so that's our number 2, show up, shift your thinking. And number 3, our third is shine brightly. Now, how often do we feel like if we let our light shine brightly? Okay, the Bible tells us, you might or might not believe in the Bible, New Testament, but I do. And it says to let your light so shine before this people that they may see your good works, right? We're not supposed to hide our good works. It even says don't hide your light under a bushel. We're supposed to be a city on a hill. We're supposed to be a light for the world. And the way that light is one of my words from the past year, because it to me, it empowers me. It makes me feel like I'm not just serving and helping people, which is really what I'm trying to do, but I want to lead people. I want to help people to know what they can do to be a light. I see it like this. I see it like I was out at Lake Powell, a few months back, and we always go every year, and I was on a paddleboard. And Lake Powell, if you don't know, is like this huge, beautiful lake with red rocks everywhere. And as I was paddling, it was completely still water, and it was in the morning, and the sun had just come up, and nobody was around. It was just me. And I was thinking about this idea of light, like light and being a light and what that means. And what ended up happening is I looked over, and the sun was glistening off the water with all these little lights. And the way I saw it was like, as I become a light, then I light someone else or ignite them, then they ignite more people and they become a light, and it becomes like this. It started from me, and then looking out, there were all these beautiful lights. And that's what I'm talking about. When you're talking about being a light, that's what we're talking about. You have to let yourself shine, because we hold ourselves back. Again, that second S-H, of shifting your thinking. We hold ourselves back all the time because we think other people can't handle my light, or I don't want other people to think this or that about me, or I don't want to make other people feel bad because I'm showing that things are good for me right now, or that I have something to offer. I don't want them to feel diminished by my light. And trust me, I have been through this so many times, and I've held myself back so many times from sharing the things that I know or that could be helpful, because I don't want people to think I'm whatever, bragging, or that, you know, that my life is perfect. And so then I remind him, like, you remember, I've been through a lot of hard things though, right? It's like we have to quantify it or qualify it, I guess, if we are going to shine brightly. But here's the truth, that as you shine brightly, you give permission for other people to do the same. And as you let your light shine, you do not diminish others. Shining your light brightly does not diminish anyone else's light. They can shine just as brightly themselves. And in fact, you're more likely to ignite their light than you are to make them diminished. Now, if people do feel diminished because you're shining your light and sharing yourself in the way that you feel called to do, that is their issue. And it's really hard to remember that boundary, but we started off talking about boundaries, and we're going to talk today, you know, boundary. You have to set that boundary and let that be their issue. Don't let it be the thing that stops you then from doing what you need to do. And I know what that's like. I've had so many haters over the years, and sometimes even in my own family, doubting, you know, and I'm really worked to overcome that, right? I think that's what we all need to do, is just notice those thoughts, show up, shift your thinking, and shine your light. Now, I am going to shine a little light for you right now. I actually had a request. Well, sort of. Melissa, you kind of requested this, so this is because of you. I'm going to sing another song. I am actually going to sing a song, and on YouTube someone said, you know, that it reminded them of that song, This Little Light of Mine. I'm not going to sing that song, but I did write a song a few years back about the light of women. And especially we women, we have such a hard time with letting ourselves shine. We just hold ourselves back way too much. And this is kind of my answer to that, and hopefully it'll motivate you a little bit, and hopefully you will enjoy it. It's actually one of my very favorite songs, because I wrote it with my daughters in my mind, and my grandmother in my mind, and myself in my mind, and other people that I admire. And it's for all you women out there, okay? It's called, what's it called? The Light of a Girl, that's what it's called. Okay, here we go. A little girl in her little world, she's bringing light into this life, like a butterfly dancing in the sky with a toothless grin. She'll make you smile, oh yeah. Ba ba ba, ba ba ba. A little girl gives her dress a twirl, she's whirling hope into today with dreams and romance in the handsome prince she'll one day save. And even as she sleeps, her dreams will keep that fate with the hopes and dreams a woman brings. There's nothing left but light. An aged girl in this outgrown world, she breathes the end of earthly life, frail yet wise, with fiery eyes and a toothless grin to close her life. Yet each sleeps, her dreams ignite in others' lives. Yeah, they'll shine bright, bright, bright. Oh, how this world needs the light of a girl, a butterfly with a toothless smile. Oh, how we need that light of a little girl. Ba ba ba, ba 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 ba. that's my song about shining your light. And you women especially, I believe what I wrote there, what I just sang. You have such a powerful light to share, and it can only come from you. The things that we women have to offer the world, no one else can replace that. And we hold ourselves back way too much. And I hope this replenishment challenge and today's mini lesson on sharing yourself has inspired something in you, has helped you to feel like you can then get out there and share yourself with the world and love other people and be a leader and be a light. And now maybe even to set some of your goals and set up a plan for change. You know, if there are things that you are not loving about your life right now, that's okay. And if you're not ready to be that kind of light and to shine, that's okay. As I always talk about, the seasons of growth are like the seasons of the weather. You know, you might be in a fall where things have just really changed and you're in upheaval and you just are trying to get your footing. You might be in a winter where you're really, really struggling and you feel things cold and dark outside and you're just trying to like hold it together. You might be in a spring where you try to go out because it looks all beautiful outside and you're wanting to go, but then you go out and it's all freezing and cold again and you get shoved back in. And maybe you're in that summertime where you feel like you can really shine. But I say, wherever you are, let your light shine as brightly as you can in whatever ways you can. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. But show up and shift your thinking. And then you'll be able to shine a little bit more each day. And as far as the Replenish Challenge goes, perhaps you need to repeat it before you move on to make a plan for change. And that was the download that we received in your email if you were registered for the challenge, was the Plan for Change 2019. And it's a worksheet on how to then, now that you're in that replenished place, to set up your plan for change. And maybe you need to repeat the challenge before you do that. We're going to have these videos up on Facebook and YouTube for the next week. And then they're going to be coming down. And you can also listen on my Motherhood podcast. And those will be up. You can get the audio that way. But as far as the worksheets and the downloads and all these free gifts that we've had in all these videos, if you need them, use them now, because they're going to be going away and they're going to be part of a course that I'm going to unveil eventually. Just a little hint. In the meantime, though, hopefully you have really appreciated this challenge. It's helped you. And I'm so excited to announce this, that I'm starting a whole new program, a monthly membership program called Grow Monthly. And grow means grasp the repeating opportunities for wisdom. And it's every month a new course based on a personal growth topic that I think is really helpful and valuable. And you're going to get live master classes with me every month. And you're going to have 3 other lessons related to the topic of the month, and all kinds of tools and downloads and worksheets, just like we've done in this challenge, but on a monthly basis. It's a way to work with me and interact with me in our private Facebook group and to continue this growth. I love it. I'm so excited about it. It's the first time, and I'm actually only telling you guys in the challenge, whoever watches these videos today, because it actually officially launches tomorrow. So if you want to go to my website, drchristinahibbert.com, you can find it on our homepage and learn more about it. We've also got some awesome bonuses, a whole bonus course on exercise to mental health that you get for free if you sign up for the monthly. And if you do the annual membership, you not only get that, but you get free ticket to my Mastery of Motherhood live event, which is launching in a couple weeks and coming in May. Whew, there's so much cool stuff going on, you guys. There's so many ways to grow, and I've been having so much fun helping you do that and learning from you and with you. Thank you, Melissa, for putting the website on there so everybody can have that, and thanks for the claps. And in the meantime, just remember to continue to replenish yourself using these tools as much as possible, as often as you need. And tomorrow I'm actually going to do a bonus little live from the airport. I'm flying to Miami this week to do my mastermind group, and I'm really excited about that, and I'll be telling you all about that as I do it. But tomorrow I'll be coming live kind of as a wrap up and to share just a couple of free bonus tools that might help you this year. So if you're around tomorrow, it'll probably be like 12:30ish, because who knows once I get to the airport, then join us then. Otherwise, everybody, I hope you will continue to replenish yourself and get out there and share yourself today with the 3 show up, show light, of a girl, a woman, and everybody, really. We all need your light, okay? All right.